it's Jai452 here, and we're inside the land of cosplay again, rummaging around, looking for skeletons that we can pull out of the cupboard and smack with a big giant hammer. And look what I found to help me do that. It is the one, the only.
SuperJackdc. Hello, people of the interwebs.
Hello indeed to you, people of the interwebs. So just before we get started, we're still having, or we've recently been having kind of weird weather our way and here in the UK. So if we lose our connection, we do apologise. We will try and resume um, normal broadcasts as soon as possible. Also, I am wearing a new headset, you might have noticed. Um, my old one kind of decided that it was going to say goodbye, good world. It was lovely knowing you. So we want to thank the people at um, Skullcap, I think it is. Skullcap Head Tech. I don't know. Sorry, people who we got this headset at Argos, so thank you, Argos. Um, so yes, we're just gonna jump right in, and I'm gonna ask you, when did you first start cosplaying?
I started cosplaying back in 2013 for MCM Scotland of that year, and I was cosplaying Daryl Dixon. It's my first,
Oh,
yep, it's my first cosplay, and I still feel like it's one of my best.
okay. Can you maybe take us through the process of you choosing that particular character?
Yeah, well, I watched it on Netflix. I watched the show on Netflix, and the minute I saw Daryl on screen, I just absolutely fell in love with him. I just thought he was so awesome and cool, and I just wanted to cosplay him so badly. And that year, I got my chance and I went for it.
Awesome. Um, who or what inspires you to cosplay?
Well, um, mostly like the people I see in cosplay music videos by people like Sneaky Zebra and stuff, and of course some of the bigger names in the cosplay community, uh, Jessica Negri, Leona Vamp, um, people like that. But I'm also inspired by several of my friends. But of all my friends, my biggest inspiration is definitely my friend Rosalie, aka Low Record Girl. She's just been so unbelievably awesome to me. So shout out to her. If you're watching this, you're awesome.
Um, do these people, like a lot of the people who inspire you, still cosplay today, or have some of them kind of stepped away from cosplaying to pursue other things?
Well, yeah, well, another, well, just about all of them still cosplay.
Awesome.
Yeah, just about.
Good, good. Um, so I'm gonna like switch up because we've done this interview quite a few times already
Yes.
due to technical issues and such likes. So I'm gonna mix up the questions a little bit here. Uh, there are two types of events that you can go to when it comes to Comic Cons. There are the big once a year ones and the small local ones.
Mm-hmm.
Which of the two do you prefer when going to an event? Do you prefer going to the really big ones that only happen once a year, or do you prefer going to the little ones that happen all year round?
Well, I'm kind of in between with what I prefer. Like, I absolutely love the bigger events because of all the things to see, all the things to do, everyone there. But also like the smaller events because it's a lot easier to find friends and find people. Like with the big events, there's just so many people there. You're bumping into people. It's like an ant farm, except all the ants wear costumes and carry around giant bags and have swords and tails and horns and wigs and stuff.
And there, I always think that's really fun at the bigger events. Especially when you find somebody who's wearing like a big giant costume that has like tentacles and wings that go like way out to like here kind of thing. Especially if you're like traveling from one end of the hall to the other, I would just like stand behind said person and hope that they're going in the direction I need to go. Just like follow them because guaranteed people will move out of the way.
Yeah.
Um, so you and me actually met at one of the smaller Comic Cons, one of the small local ones, where you were dressed as Ghoul from Batman Beyond, and I think that was at Halloween.
Yep.
We
That
we
was
might
Halloween.
we might have met just slightly before that, but it would have been like we met in passing and be like, oh hi.
Yeah.
Um, so
I,
since we actually got to talk to each other a little at Halloween,
mm,
let's go through your costume there because I think I remember saying to you once during our many trial recordings that I was the only one that one of the few people that kind of knew who you were just by looking at you. So why don't you take the viewers through your costume for Halloween last year?
well, I really liked Go as a character, even though he never really did much. He was kind of the underdog of Batman Beyond, and I never really go as anything like really scary for Halloween, like ever. So I kind of thought this was kind of a cool middle ground between a character that I like and something scary. Um, the costume I wore was just a kind of dark yellow T-shirt that, and over that was a black T-shirt that, oh well, my mom cut up. I can't really talk about cosplay and not mention her because, well, let's face it, she makes just about all of these cosplays for me. So yeah, she cut that shirt up, right? Like, which we bought them both in Primark, which for me Primark has been an absolute lifesaver when it comes to basic t-shirts for cosplay, which t-shirt I'm wearing right now, Primark.
Hey!
So if you ever want to cosplay with just a normal t-shirt, Primark is the best place to go. Oh, nice. That is awesome.
I would say that it comes from Primark, but it doesn't. It came from Loot Crate. So, Loot Crate!
Yeah.
Shameless plug, Loot Crate. You know, you can send me money if you. Sorry, I shouldn't be covering my mic. You can send me money if you like. Send me more stuff. I'll give it like free placement.
Yeah. So anyway, the wig I bought was just, we were looking around and we decided to buy a wig online, right? But I was like, no, I think the shop over here sells wigs. And mum was like, I don't think it does. I'm fairly sure it doesn't. Like, it sells Halloween makeup and stuff. And lo and behold, a full wall of just wigs. Just wigs everywhere. And yeah, the hat was from, I think it was from the pound shop, as well as the scythe. Because, come on, pound shop. Everything is a pound. It's the cheapest place for cosplay.
Yay! Um, I remember when I seen you to begin with. Like I said, I knew who you were, and I remember because when you came into the hall, you had your wig and your hat on together, and I remember intensely looking at you at one point, and I must have freaked you out when I like if you'd seen me, you would probably have been freaked out because I was like this kind of like trying to like figure out whether or not the wig was like attached to the hat. And I was like, every time I seen you, I was like, is that wig attached to the hat? And it wasn't until at one point your hat come like tumbling off when I was looking at you, and I was like, no, it's not attached to the hat. Okay.
That, that day I must have like tried to like force the hat over my head like 50 times. It kept coming off so much. It was terrible. Like, if I ever do that cosplay again, I'm definitely gonna sew the hat to the wig. Right, that's probably best to do, just to prevent the hat from being lost, from getting lost.
Definitely. Um, so we're going to jump back a question, and I'm going to ask you, what has been the most challenging cosplay that you've ever done, both from the making of the costume and from an acting standpoint? Because as some people might not know, there is always a little bit of acting in cosplay, whether you realize it or not. Whether that be the way the character poses, the way the character talks, or even just how they would interact with other people. You know. So let's start with the acting side of things, like because I know that you have a background in acting. So, which character for you currently has been the most difficult to cosplay as?
That would definitely, again, that would have to be Ghoul, because there's not a lot to go on, really, with him. Like, he wasn't on screen that much, he never really did anything important, and there was never really any character development for him, so we never really know where he comes from, what his deal is, what he's doing with these jokers. So definitely acting wise, it's Ghoul for me, definitely. Eh.
How about costume wise? Which cosplay has been the most difficult for you so far?
Probably, or not probably, definitely Nightwing, because there was so much gluing of the craft foam to the actual shirt and stuff, and it was, and also the cutting of the mask as well, and trying to figure out how to put that on. We tried spirit gum, and we ended up just using elastic, like just to put over the back of my head and stuff. So definitely that as well.
Have you ever done like, because like you were talking about your Nightwing outfit there, and I've actually seen images of that, and it is really good padding, like that's on the costume.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
and you see when you go to conventions, you see people who are dressed up like stormtroopers, and some people like Iron Man, and other weird and wonderful armor types. Have you ever done anything more that was similar to your Nightwing costume that would be kind of close to what these guys are doing? Or is that something that you would still like to kind of branch out into?
That's something I do plan on branching out into in the future, because I plan on Felix from Red versus Blue at some point. But as of right now, Nightwing is the closest to that kind of cosplay that I've done so far. Yeah.
Um, Now, there was something that you were telling me about Nightwing in particular recently, because we did meet up recently and we got chatting.
Yep.
Um, we met up
Sa-
mm,
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
Yep, Saturday.
Um, this recording being done on a Monday, by the way, guys. And you were telling me when we were in person that Nightwing was also an issue for you via props, because you
Oh
had
yeah.
the two I'm going to call them night sticks. I think they're called something else, but we'll call them night sticks.
Eskrima sticks.
Um, you said that there was an issue with that, so can you maybe take our viewers through that?
Well, the issue wasn't like, well, it was more of how I was going to store them. But me and my mum, we figured out the holster onto a backpack, which came in really handy at MCM, right? And it was just pulling them out of my back was fine, right? But putting them back in was an ordeal, because I actually had to take the backpack off to put them back in. And that takes up valuable convention time, you know. So it was it
I've
was just that.
actually, like, I remember you saying that this past Saturday, and I remember thinking about it on the way home, like a way around that for you.
Mhm.
And I kind of thought of, like, if you can have a bit where you can pull them down into each other so that if you're taking a picture with them out, like it it's going to be a bit of an awkward one, but you're going to have like maybe four separate sticks. So like two in your back and two for posing with. And when if you're posing with them out, just in your back down a little bit so that they're kind of hidden by your back. And then pose with the ones that could be like stored in pockets at the side kind of thing. So that might be a way around it, but I think you maybe had another way around it.
Um, I think in the future I'm gonna actually put the holsters on my back, but the backpack definitely did come in handy and was definitely a lot useful, very useful to me because I could just store anything that I buy or anything that I take with me, like a drink or like a ball or something, and just put it in there. So that definitely came in handy at the convention.
In your opinion, what is the most difficult thing or character to cosplay as?
Oh, do you mean just from the characters I've cosplayed before, or just in?
Just in general, because
Hmm.
a lot of people kind of tend to ask me that question, and they say like, "What do you think is the most difficult character or cosplay, well, character or thing to cosplay as?" And I was like, "Well, there's quite a long list of things that could be difficult to cosplay as."
um, that's difficult. Um, but I would say like any kind of robot type thing, right? Because um, Scott, who I think you might know him, right?
Mhm.
Um, he posted recently that he wanted to cosplay Ultron, right?
Oh, good luck
Which
with that.
I'm I'm wondering how in the hell is he gonna do that, right? Because um, if you want to make it like ultra realistic, ultra, right? You'd have to have
I
like
see what you did there.
it was a cheap joke. I'm sorry. You'd have to have like headgear and full body paint and armor and stuff, and I'm just wondering how in the hell is he gonna manage that? You know, and just any kind of robot. Like if it's a simple robot, like say I don't know, someone like maybe I'm gonna probably butcher this pronunciation, but Crichton from
Red Dwarf?
yeah Red Dwarf. Yeah, um, you could probably do him fairly easily, right? But someone like Ultron, that's gonna take about that's gonna take years and God knows how much money to do.
I can understand the whole it's going to take a while to do. I mean, I've got three cosplays that I've kind of planned out, and one of them I've already done. So I've got like two more that I plan to do, and one of them is going to be this year, and I'm kind of like slightly nervous about it
Mm-hmm.
because I'm mishmashing two types of styles and putting them together. For the third cosplay, the one that I'm going to do next year, I'm going to have to be in so much like physical shape for it, and the amount of stuff that I'm going to have to put onto my body because it's going to be um this is a quick spoiler, guys, so you better be watching this video. um I'm gonna have to learn how to use body paint maybe.
Mhm.
And I've never ever worked with body paint. Plus, the type of costume that I might be wearing, I might be showing a good portion of skin. Hence the reason for having to get into shape. And that one's going to be a really big one for me because I don't know whether I've ever told you, but or anyone, but I'm going to say it here. So this is an exclusive. I sometimes have issues with my physical appearance, like in public. You know, if it's with people I know and I'm at home, I don't really care. You know, um, but if I'm out in public, I want to know that people are looking at me and going, "Oh, that's awesome," and not holy, over there, holy rhinoceros, Um, so yes, year three is going to be an interesting one for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, so when you've been at conventions, both big and small, have you entered into cosplay masquerade?
Yeah, I have um I did it on Halloween. Right? You may remember on Halloween I was there, and I've also done them at Glasgow Comic Con for 2014 and also 2015, and I also did this year or last year's MCM cosplay contest, right? And at the end of the month on the 28th, I might be doing it on at Capital Sci-Fi Con as well, which
Nice.
should
Is,
be awesome.
is that in Glasgow or?
That's in Edinburgh, right?
Ah,
Right. This is the first year I'm traveling for conventions, so I've got um, two in Edinburgh, and the rest are in Glasgow.
awesome. There's something else that I can ask you about. You were saying that this is the first year that you're traveling for Comic Con events. Um, how how do you feel about that? You know, is that something that you're really excited about? Are you quite nervous for it?
Well, so for Capital Sci-Fi Con, I'm just going like the one day, so I could just so me and my papa could just
Drive up there and
yeah
drive
drive
back.
up there, just drive up and drive back. But for Edinburgh Comic Con, which is in April, um, me and mom are gonna go up and stay overnight there, and we're just gonna make a wee holiday out of it. And I'm excited about that. I'm traveling for a convention, and it's gonna be a pretty cool experience for me.
Awesome. Will your mum be going to the Comic Cons with you?
She will be going to Edinburgh Comic Con with me.
Has
I
she
will have
been before?
I will have to drag her along. Nope. And no, she has not been before. I'm cosplaying Steven Universe, so I'm trying to convince her to cosplay Rose.
Oh, that'd be really good. Um, I think even if she doesn't cosplay, I think she'll have a good time because
Yeah,
she'll get to see all the different costumes that other people have made and maybe get some ideas. And you'll probably find her coming up to you and going, "Do you see that person over there and how they're dressed? Maybe we'll do something like that with you the next event you go to."
yeah.
You know, and by the end of the day, you'll be like, "Mom, enough."
Now I will treasure every second of those conversations about her discussing cosplay techniques. I will treasure every second. Pray,
Well,
pray.
I'm sure everyone will keep our fingers crossed, and everybody put a thumbs up for Jack's mum doing the cosplay with him and doing the conversations as well.
Let's get.
Like, in
Let's
fact,
get.
write a comment down in the bottom there, guys, if you think Jack's mum should dress up like
Yes,
Rose,
rose quartz. Rose
Rose
quartz. Yeah,
at
please do.
Edinburgh Comic Con.
Let's. Yeah, Edinburgh
Yep.
Comic Con.
So down there,
Get this. Let's get
down,
this going. Hashtag Jack's mum as Rose.
yeah, down there in the comments, guys, you know what to do. Um, I'm still gonna get shouted at for that, aren't I? But angry comment from Jack's mum. How dare you? I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm impulsive.
don't worry about it.
In your opinion, what are the best and the worst things somebody can do when they're getting ready to go to a Comic Con event?
Well, we'll start off with the worst. Now, this isn't really like when you're getting ready, but more when you're actually at the convention, and that is making fun of or ridiculing other cosplayers
Hmm.
because uh, they don't they're not 100% accurate to the character. They don't have the right body type. They don't like they're uh, you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean because, you know, the body type one I talk a little bit about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One person that I've interviewed previously, Kobe Kicks, actually mentioned this. She posted on her Facebook or what size you are. You know, it's the character that you're emulating, and you can be big, tall, heavy built, not heavy built. You could be like a twig and be dressed up as Mario, who commonly isn't like a twig, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter. It's what makes you feel good,
Yeah.
you know. Um, and even though I'm saying like my third year of cosplay, I'm gonna have to be in like semi tremendous shape for it. That is a goal that is essentially a personal goal that I'm working towards. I want to get in shape. I'm not doing it because the character is like slimly or in physically good shape. It's because I want to be in better shape than I am right now. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying, oh, I have to do this because I'm cosplaying as that character in a year's time.
Yeah.
No.
Like yeah,
Hmm.
that's all I get. That's all I get. With you. Like,
So yeah, don't do that, guys. When you go to events, don't ridicule each other.
mm-hmm. And some of the best things you could probably do is right. This is either going to sound like really cheesy or really weird, but just share the experience with friends. That is the absolute like that is one of my favorite parts of the convention. Just seeing my friends and all their awesome cosplays and just having an absolute wonderful time with friends.
Definitely. Um, so the next thing I'm going to talk to you about, and this is something that we can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed a definite age difference when it comes to cosplaying? And I'm talking like people who are like in their, say, maybe late to, well, let's say late 50s to like just relatively a few months old kind of thing. Have you noticed the wide range of different age groups?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, whether you're young, old, tall, or short, whatever, cosplay is something for everyone.
Definitely.
Right? Like, um, if you remember, we saw little baby, baby Goku.
Two
I think.
years old.
Yeah,
Two
absolutely.
years old, because I
Yeah,
remember I remember going backstage, well, backstage, um,
backstage.
yeah, and I saw them coming through, and
Mm-hmm.
I spoke to his dad, and I said, "Do you mind if I get a picture of you guys?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah, sure, 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 go ahead." And I got my picture taken with them, and the kid was still really, really nervous. But I thought that was so great that he went up there with his dad and his mum eventually. Um, but he seemed a little bit more relaxed backstage, still shy, but a little bit more relaxed. Um, and I said to him, "What age are you, little boy?" He's like, "Two,
Oh,
two."
oh,
And I was like, "So cute."
on
Um,
stage. That hit me right in the feels,
I
man.
know,
Right in the feels.
I know. I think you're actually caught on my recording saying that right in the feels. Um, I
Oh,
just, I just remember like saying to his mum, I've got a little godson at home that's pretty much the same age as your kid and just pretty much the same attitude. He's as shy as hell. And she said, "Oh no, my son is not shy when he's at home." And I just kind of started laughing. I was like, okay. But yes, so great seeing young children like that. But equally is great seeing people in their 90s. Um, did I ever get the chance to talk to you about the women over in America?
I no, but I think 107-year-old or 100 was cosplaying Wonder Woman.
Exactly.
Yeah,
How
I saw that
how
on Facebook.
how awesome is that?
I
Like
that is
a hu-
um,
103. Like, thank you for confirming that because I thought she was like either 95 or like 100, and she wanted to go to Comic Con.
I know she was over 100. I was just it was either for me it was either 103 or 107. I don't know why 107. I just thought that was that she was that old. So
Just think, guys, how awesome is that? Because that is a woman who has literally been around for the entire time that Wonder Woman has been alive.
that is that is awe-inspiring.
I know.
Absolutely.
Like Wonder Woman, this is a really interesting thing, right? Wonder Woman is 75 this year.
Woo.
You know, she looks amazing for 75. I hope I look half as good as that when I hit 75. Doubtful, but we all live in hope. But this woman who is, we'll go with 103. This
Be
woman has
nice.
literally, yeah, literally been around for the entire time Wonder Woman has been on the scene and went, you know what? I like this character. I'm going to dress as her and I'm going to go to Comic Con and I'm going to rock it.
Absolutely. Just that is just amazing of
Oh,
her to do it. Just
I don't know
awesome.
whether she'll be watching YouTube. It's doubtful, but if you know who we're talking about and you're related to that woman, you can go up to her and tell her she is awe-inspiring, awesome, and we love her to bits.
Absolutely. Give her a thumbs up from me.
Exactly. Thumbs up
Give
for the old lady.
yep.
I'm so sorry. Thumbs up for the Wonder Woman cosplayer.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, we spoke a little about props earlier when we were talking about your Nightwing costume. Let's
Yeah.
talk about them a little bit more now. Um, do you make your own props or do you buy them in?
Well, it depends on the prop you need. Like Capital Sci-Fi Con, I'm going as Luke Skywalker, so I just bought a lightsaber. Right. Actually, I have it over there.
Hmm.
Right. But for someone like a cosplay like Dipper from Gravity Falls, I had to actually make the journal from Gravity Falls, right? And like sometimes I'll make the props, like with the aforementioned Dipper, and sometimes I buy them. Like you can do it both ways, or you can ask both. But some props you cannot get around, like I guess you could commission someone to make it for you. I prefer to make my own, or rather get my mom to make my own.
The commissioning one can be a little awkward sometimes because I've been told that some people, when they commission someone to make a prop, they might not actually get it until the morning of the event.
Hmm.
And sometimes by the afternoon of the event, said prop can be broken. So that kind of leads me along to my next question. How protective are you when it comes to your props? Are you like really overly, you touch my prop, I kill you, or are you slightly more relaxed along the lines of, okay, you can touch it, but just please don't throw it around like it's something that can be thrown around?
I I am yeah, I'm probably there. Like you can, like, if you want a picture with me, like, oh, do you want to hold the journal or something, right? But just don't like throw it in a puddle or something because I worked for days on that thing, right? So you can hold it, just be careful with it. Like, don't like, well, if you can rip it, if you rip it, then well, that's fine. It's supposed to be old, but don't rip it too much. I know that sounds kind of weird,
Hmm.
but like, but if it's like the lightsaber that I bought and you know, like, someone gets a hold of it and starts bashing it around, I'm like, no, you cannot, right? But like, that's why I prefer to make my own prop. This is kind of why I prefer to make my own props because I know the kind of materials that that have been used.
So you know how to repair it, and
Yeah,
if it breaks, you're like, oh, it's all right. I can
I
put
can
something
fix it.
together with that. It's fixable.
Yeah.
Speaking of when we make props, which is your favorite kind of material to make a prop from?
Well, I've only really ever made a couple of props, or rather, my mum did. Right. Although I did make the journal all by myself, I can take credit for that. Um, so probably the thing I make props most with is paper.
Awesome.
Um, paper, cardboard. Um,
Cardboard.
cardboard is a lifesaver. Um, like my mom made a Pokedex
Hmm.
using cardboard and craft foam. So yeah, so both are three things: paper, cardboard, craft foam. Those are the three prop making props, I
Awesome.
suppose. Prop making materials.
Great. How long do you generally take when you're making a prop? Do you like do it within a couple of hours or a day, or do you tend to do it like you'll work on it one day, then maybe leave it for 3 days and then come back to it kind of thing?
It depends on the prop, really. Like something like the Pokedex can be made in like two. The journal, I think I spent like a week making that
Hmm.
because I had to like get tea bags and make and like brown the paper, like the paper of this full journal that I bought from Wilkinson's. Then I had to glue all the stuff on, like all the gold accents and stuff, and the actual hand with the three on it. And then just for added detail, I wrote in some of the journal entries from the show.
Hmm.
But like something like my Nightwing Eskrima take took even longer to make because they are actually made of metal. They're just a cut down um, broom pole thing, right? Covered in tape. So something like that would take longer than the journal or the Pokedex.
Awesome. Um, so the next half of the questions I've got we're going to have a little bit of fun with because we
Okay.
just hit the 40-minute mark, which is great. Um, so, what are some of the funniest things that have ever happened to you while either in cosplay or at a cosplay event?
Um, I don't think this is really a funny thing to happen, but the first convention or that I was cosplaying at, my friend was coming. My friend Devlin was coming, and he wanted to cosplay Deadpool, right? So he went out to buy a red morph suit, but they were out of red morph suits, so he had to buy a purple one instead, right? And it was like, can I go as Deadpool now because it's not red, right? So we kept trying to come up with different things he could cosplay as, right? And then I just said, just go as Deadpool. No one will really care if it's purple. Just say it's X-Force Deadpool, and you thought it looked purple or something. And I think by the end of the day, everyone was just calling him Purple Pool. Like, yeah, there was like a whole conga line of Deadpools that day, and I'm pretty sure he joined in on that. Which I thought that was pretty funny to see this line of red being completely obscured by purple.
Plus side, he would have stood out from the crowd.
Oh yeah, of course, because there's 1,000 Deadpools at Comic-Con every year. That's what cosplay can be summed up as. Deadpool and Harley Quinn. Yep.
Thumbs up for Harley Quinn, people. Forget
Yes.
Deadpool, just give a thumb up for Harley.
Get Deadpool!
Forget Deadpool, thumbs up for Harley.
Then why's Deadpool got the film out first? Why's
Harley's got the Suicide Squad coming.
Yeah, but Deadpool take out all the Suicide Squad in like an hour.
Is that why Deadpool was giving Harley Valentine's Days yesterday and she wasn't caring?
Yes, he won't kill Harley.
Meh. So that's been what happened to a friend of yours. What's been some of the like two more funny things that have happened to you either in cosplay or at an event you just can not laugh at?
Well, at MCM last year, right, I thought it'd be funny if you know how people always carry around signs saying free hugs? I thought it'd be funny if I wrote on a piece of paper, deluxe hugs for £2. And, like, I'll go up to people saying, do you want a deluxe hug? Only £2. And eventually to start giving out hugs, like, there was another guy who was giving me all the free hugs, and I was trying to give one to, coincidentally, a Harley Quinn cosplayer, right? So I'm like, do you want a deluxe hug? And the guy came up, was like, no, he charges for hugs. I'm like, no, I don't anymore. And I just ripped off the bit that said £2, crumpled it up, and when I got home, right, I put the watered up £2 sign in my pocket, right? And about 2 months later, I put on the same joggies I wore for Nightwing, and I found it crumpled up in my pocket for all those months.
You know what I would find really funny about that and really ironic? If people paid you £2 for a hug.
Yeah.
Like, here, like, I'm really desperate for a hug. Here's £2. You could have made a killing that day.
Yeah, absolutely, because everyone's already given out free hugs. I started eliminating competition.
Who needs a free hug when you can pay for it?
The best
A
things in
total,
life aren't free, you know.
a total of £2 and you can have the best hug ever.
Yeah. And like people were asking me, what is a deluxe hug? I'm like, just hug me and find of what your deluxe hugs might be. Like, it's a special hug. Uh,
Oh my gosh.
um,
So the third funniest thing that has happened to you.
right, right, same convention,
Mhm.
same day as the deluxe hug incident, right? I had a girl come up to me and she said, "Hey, I saw your video on YouTube of this." I'm like, "What? You saw my video?" Because I'm probably the least popular channel on YouTube ever. Right?
Okay.
Like I I did not expect anyone to actually watch my videos. So when someone comes up to me and says, "Hey, I watched your video yesterday," I'm like, "What? You watched my video?" "Yes. My video. Me. Mine. My channel. Yes." I feel like I want to hug you right now. Only £2.
Normally, when I have that kind of reaction, when somebody says, I watched your video, I like when I first started my channel, and somebody said, "Oh yes, I watched your video. I even subscribed to your channel." I look at them and I'm like, "My channel?" And they're like, "Yes." And I'm like, "Are you sure?" "Yes." Jai452? Yes. And they even tell me what my avatar is on YouTube just to be sure. And I'm like, "Yeah, that's my avatar. You did watch my video." Jeez, was there nothing else on YouTube? Really? Um, but yes, I am very thankful for all of my subscribers and the people that watch my videos. I would hug each and every one of you if you were like standing in front of me. And if I was in a good, pleasant mood, I would probably would. If I wasn't, I'd just be like, yeah, see that person over there who's giving hugs for £2? Go hug him. Best hug you'll ever have.
Yeah, but,
Um,
but yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
I felt like giving her a hug that day.
Awesome.
Honestly.
Um, so what has been three of the weirdest things that have ever happened when you've been at a convention?
Well, nothing too and terribly weird has happened to me
Yeah.
as of yet. I've never had anyone feel me up yet at a convention because I've heard that does happen.
I haven't had it either, and I'm kind of glad of it.
I've heard that's happened, especially to like female cosplayers.
Mm.
Yeah, so I've not experienced that as of yet. Although with future cosplays, I expect to be.
Okay.
That was a joke. That was my
Okay.
vain attempt at humor.
Meow.
Crash and burn. But no, nothing really weird has happened to me as of yet. So I'm very thankful for that. I've had a very
I
um
think when I
I've had,
say weird, I mean just kind of unexpected. Like, my first event, there were celebrities there, and one of them happened to be Robert Englund. And when he was doing his panel on the stage, I was at like one end of the Brayhead Arena, and the tan hour announcement came over and said, we've got now coming to the stage, we've got Robert. Big eruption from the crowd. And I kind of like jumped out my skin because I was like, what the hell is going on? Has someone just been killed? And then I kind of looked over to the celebrity bit and seen people going, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, that must be Robert England then. Okay. So strange in that sense, just like unexpected things where you'd maybe
Expected, right? Oh, okay.
kind of jumped like, holy crap, what the hell?
Unexpected. Again, I have to refer you to the girl who watched my video. Right, so that was very, very unexpected for me. Another, like, I don't know if this would count as like very. I saw an unexpected cosplay, right, which was Jamie from Steven Universe, right, and in one episode of the show, they, Jamie and Steven put on a play about the founding of Beach City, where Jamie had to play the part of all three of the crystal gems, right? So for Garnet, he had like a box on his head that was just colored to look like her hair. And then for Pearl, because she has a massive nose, he put on like a party hat over his nose. And then Amethyst was just a mop with like a purple stone glued to it, and that was what this guy was cosplaying, right? I'm like, oh my god, that is amazing! He actually did that! So I just had to shout out to him, Jamie!
Okay, so I'm now going to ask you, can you give us maybe a sneak peek and tell us, we'll stick with three. Three costumes, two that you're definitely going to be doing, and one that you're considering for 2016.
Well, two that I'm definitely doing are for Capital Sci-Fi Con. It's Luke Skywalker, Episode 6 Luke Skywalker, and then for MCM, the first day of MCM, definitely Hawkeye, like from the Avengers, but like kind of the comic version of Hawkeye mixed with the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And one that I'm definitely considering is Kanan from Star Wars Rebels for Collector Mania or filming Comic-Con. So that's definitely one I really want to do.
Okay. So my last question before we do the Passover is, what advice would you give to anyone who is wanting to cosplay but just doesn't know where to start?
I would say start with a character that you relate to, like that you find interesting, that you like. Start who has a simple design, who has a simple costume to do, right? Find a few good friends and go to a convention and have an absolute ball with it, because it is absolutely so much fun, and no matter who you cosplay, there's going to be someone who recognizes you.
Okay. Just before we I'm going to have to pause, so we'll be right back. And we're back. So now comes the time in the interview where I like to pass over to our interviewee and say to them, where can we get a hold of you if the viewers have any further questions for you specifically? So what kind of social media do you use?
Well, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, so you can either message me on Facebook or tweet me, all at SuperJackdc, and I'm also here on YouTube, which I've just reached 50 subscribers, and I'm so happy about that. So on my YouTube channel, I'll post videos about cosplay and cosplayers, and videos of me at conventions, and I'll also post a variety of other stuff like vlogs and haul videos and a variety of Lego stop motion videos as well. So,
Awesome.
you can reach me through my Facebook and Twitter, and Instagram is just where I post all my photos and stuff, or all my random photos and stuff, and YouTube is where I will post my videos. So if you just want to reach me, then you can reach me on those 4 social media platforms.
And what is your YouTube channel's name?
SuperJackdc.
Awesome. So, other than that, guys, I think that's pretty much it. We've had a few little connection issues there at the end. So, we do apologize for that, but it can't be helped. Also, if you wish to do so, you can come over to i-GameOnline, where you might actually be watching or have gotten the link to this interview. Check out all the stuff we've got going on i-GameOnline, because it's going to be fun, fun, fun on the bun for guarantees. Also, don't forget to maybe give us a thumbs up down there. Do you see the thumbs up down there, Jack? Is it like?
Probably will be.
There's also a comment section. Leave us a comment. Me and Jack will have a look at some point, and we will definitely send a reply out. Also, there's a subscribe button down there. Awesome subscribe button. Don't forget to do that to see more of the content.
It's so amazing, but mine's even better.
So
you should definitely click that as well.
Definitely. Click on the subscribe button for my channel to see all the kind of content I'll be bringing you. There will be more interviews with more people. And there even might be some gaming somewhere in the future. Guys, I want to take DC
SuperJackdc.
Thank you. I want to thank him for taking the time out to come and sit with us and talk to us about all things cosplay. I think we did pretty well, like exposing them skeletons.
Yep. Well, I was very happy to be here.
Well, like I say, thank you for taking the time out and spending it with us. So,
thank you for having me.
Not a problem. So, bye everyone. Bye.
Goodbye, people of the internet.